Good morning, Calc kiddos. Today we're going to learn about horizontal tangents. You guys should have some awareness of what a tangent is. If I were to give you a function and randomly pick some point and say, what is the equation of the tangent line through this point? I'll just call this x value a. This y value is f of a. It has some slope. That was not my best effort. It has some slope through that point. So the point is called a comma f of a. That's the point. The slope of this line is called f prime. That's the derivative with a put back in. This is the slope. To figure out the tangent line, you take this point a comma f of a, use this slope. Some of you prefer slope intercept rather than point slope. So let's say we got this equation going on. F of x equals x squared minus 6x plus 5. This is a parabola. It has a y-intercept of 5. You could probably find factors of 5 that add up to negative 6. Not that you have to do any of this yet. They could be x minus 1 and x minus 5. That means your two x-intercepts are positive 1 and positive 5, 2, 3, 4, 5, I believe. And it has a y-intercept of 5. And it would look like such. If I asked you for the slope of this point, hopefully you would say it's positive. This point, hopefully you'd say it's negative. There's one spot somewhere in here where it has a horizontal tangent line, or definitely has a slope of 0. That's what we're looking at. So let's look at our function. This is the exact same function. F of x equals x squared minus 6x plus 5. I could look at some different points. These are all negative slopes. This is not as negative. There it is, right there. That has a horizontal tangent, a slope of 0. All these slopes are positive. I'm going to show you how to do the math. Just to visualize it one more time, I'm going to draw all these. The slope of all these tangent lines are negative. That is the one where it's horizontal, and then they're all positive again. So here's what you do. Here's how the math goes down. You are given a function. You find the derivative, which is 2x minus 6. That function takes different x values and gives you slopes. So for instance, if I say, what is the slope when x equals 0? All I do is into my derivative, put a 0. And I get 2 times 0 minus 6. I'm just substituting. The derivative at the x value of 0, that's awful, of 0 is negative 6. Graphically, don't forget, it looked like this slope was very steep and negative 6. Now you're saying, what do I do? Guess this x value? You could guess because it was pretty obvious. We saw it. Or what you could do is declare that the slope that we want is 0. So we're putting a 0 there. And now algebraically determining the x value. Add 6 to each side. This is what I call algebra, kids. And we get the x value of 3. When x equals 3, we have a slope of 0. That's all you got to say. All right, here's another one for you. This time I'm going to give you a function. X cubed minus 9x. Rough graph of this function will look something like this. Really rough. It is symmetric around the origin. It's an odd function. So what we're looking for is this spot, kind of this max or this min. That's another application of finding horizontal tangents. This has two. The derivative of this function means that if I graph the derivative, that spot is 0. The derivative of that spot is 0. All these slopes in between here are negative, and all these slopes prior to and beyond are positive. So your derivative is a degree 2 function. Let's just do that. F prime of x equals 3x squared minus 9. So what we're looking for, one more time, is this magic x value right here, question mark, and that magic x value right there, question mark. You put a 0 here, and if this was a more complicated equation, you may have to either factor or use the quadratic formula. Today, because there's no b term, it's kind of nice. You can just do what's called algebra. Add 9 to each side and get 3x squared equals 9. Divide by 3 and get 3 equals x squared. That's not quite done. Not sure why I circled that. I'm running out of room, so I'll finish right here. Take the square root of each side. Don't forget both the primary and secondary root, because many people just think that the answer is square root of 3, and they look on their graph here at square root of 3 for that x value, and it seems right. They forget that it's both the positive and negative square root of 3. If you're thinking about studying for the final, this is a good one. This will be on there. I guarantee it.